purify the attempt to dwell, which is the troublemaker. Trying to be with seeing, looking, knowing, and all things. Trying to be with body and mind, it is the cause of the suffering. Not relate, dissolving itself. Not relating, doesn't relate to itself. This will purify the cause of the suffering that is overlaying the body and the mind, eyes, ears, nose, tongue. Not related to either relating or not relating. If you dissolve the attempt to dwell that is overlaying, this is the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. The attempt to dwell is itself the troublemaker. Trying to be is messing up for all realms of existence, actually. It is the troublemaker of samsara, of all realms of existence. Trying to be with the body and mind, with looking, seeing, and knowing, with all the emotions and feelings and all the mental formation. Trying to be with body and mind, lightness, emptiness. Trying to be with the emptiness or not emptiness, or whatsoever it is messing up. Not related to either relating or not relating, go ahead. This will dissolve the delusion to be, trying to hold on. There is not much. Trying to be is the troublemaker. Trying to be overlaying, looking, seeing, and knowing, it is messing up. Just not relate to either relating or not relating. Not related even the non-relating itself. Not related even to the non-relating itself. To either relating or not relating. This will dissolve the attempt to dwell that is overlaying the body and the mind, which is the boss of the cause of the suffering and the suffering, the samudaya. Just disengage. Not related to relating or not relating. That is true disengaging. Truly not attached. Otherwise, there's only just the troublemaker trying to be, attempting to dwell. Just disengage, not related to either relating or not relating. Trying to be, overlaying the body and the mind is the troublemaker. Whenever you try to be with the body and the mind, it's messing up totally. Trying to be with knowing also is gonna be just messing up with knowing. Just disengage. Not relate to either relating or not relating. This will dissolve the attempt to dwell that is overlaying body and mind, trying to attach, overlaying all and everything. This will dissolve and purify the samudaya, the cause of the suffering, which is the original cause, the true original cause. fully disengaging, not relate to either relating or not relating. This is true mind. This is true disengaging, fully disengaging. Proceed simultaneously with everything. Oneself is all things is oneself. Make a conclusion towards ending altogether simultaneously. Not related to either relating or not relating, with everything, with everything. This is not to aim towards conclusion within oneself, one's mind. It's going to be a blockage. Everything. Conclude for everything simultaneously, helping through unwinding for everything. Don't aim towards oneself. It's going to be circling and being blocked on and on. Whenever you conclude for oneself, that is not a conclusion. That is grasping for the conclusion, is not true conclusion. You have to give a conclusion for samsara instead. Not related to either relating or not relating is everything. Don't aim towards your mind. Everything. Don't emphasize on oneself or one's mind. Everything. Disengage means everything, not at the mind. Not related to either relating or not relating. Everything simultaneously, all together. With this, it will not be tightened up and pressurized at the forehead, at the neck, at the throat, at the chest. Everything. Not grasping for either grasping or not grasping. Disengage. Not grasping for either grasping or not grasping. That is true disengaging, true might. The attempt to dwell is totally a mistake. It creates encircling of samsara. It's the extreme mistakes. Again and again mistaking, because it is encircling, trying to be with the body and mind, all things or whatsoever. It is a mistake, extreme mistake, because it's encircling right away. Encircling, encircling, encircling. That which has nothing to do with relating or not relating, with everything. It's not about trying to be with all things. It's not about trying to be with oneself. It's not trying to be with the mind, looking, seeing and knowing. It's not trying to be with sensory organs or the objects of sensory perception. That's why it's not become samsara. The attempt to dwell is itself the samsara. This overlaying of the attempt to dwell is samsara itself. That which is not related to either relating or not relating is with everything. It dissolving the encircling of the attempt to dwell. It's giving ending to it. So make a conclusion more often with this sentence. Not related to either relating or not relating. It will eventually proceed accordingly. It will not relate to anything whatsoever accordingly, because it is already like that. But relating and not relating comes later. Everything is not related to either relating or not relating already as it is. You have to be enlightened that trying to be is your own problem. It creates problems for yourself. Trying to be with knowing and seeing, trying to be with thoughts, feelings, recalls, emotions, states of mind, state of Dharma, all of the attempt to dwell of oneself is itself one's own problem. You have to dissolve this. That's why it's not simple. Trying to be, if it is lesson, everything will be simple all by itself. Otherwise, Luang Por will not give you disengage, even the disengaging itself. Why is it so? Because it is giving ending to the ending itself. It's giving ending to the attempt to dwell, the attempt to hold on. Giving ending to the attempt to arise and to cease. Because this is still samsara, still circling. It is giving ending to it. Why you have to use not related even to the non-relating itself? Because it is giving ending to the ending itself, ceasing the ceasing itself. There is no need to encircling with the body and mind and all things. If it's not related to either the non-relating itself, it will not encircling with body and mind and all things. It is not all about the arising and the ceasing automatically. It is not samsara. So go ahead at all times, more than often. Not related even to the non-relating itself all the time. Disengage even the disengaging itself at all times. Not grasping even the non-grasping at all times. At all times. This will give ending to the mess and all the troublemakers automatically. Troubling with body and mind and all things. This will give ending to the ending itself. Therefore, with everything is from disengaging itself at all times. Not related to not relating itself. There is no need to not relate to anything at all. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. There is no need to not attach to anything at all. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. It will give ending to the non-attachment, the ideas of the non-attachment. From not attached to the non-attachment itself at all times. This is giving ending to the ending itself, totally. All things and oneself is one. There is no need to separate from it. Not related to the non-relating itself, it means for everything altogether. This will end all the ending itself all the same. There is no need to separate oneself from all things inside and outside and all the elements. They are all anicca and anatta, all the same. There is no need to try to disengage from anything, to not attach from anything, not attached to the non-attachment itself, in the ending itself. What is there to be ended? In the ending itself, in the trying to end itself. Trying to end is not ending. What is there to be disengaged from? If not disengaged from disengaging itself, trying to disengage, trying to not attach is confusing, is troubling. End the ending itself, end the trying to end itself at all times. Otherwise, all the delusion to be, to hold on, will cover up and deceive oneself to swing here and there. Trying to be is always deceiving, always troubling. What is there to be disengaged from? Disengaged from disengaging itself with everything. What is there to not relate to? If not relating to the not relating itself, what is there to be not relating to make it troubling? Not attached to the non-attachment itself. Don't be delusively not attached to anything to make it troubling to the non-attachment. It has to end within itself, to the non-attachment itself, with everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself, ending the idea about non-attachment. To delusively not attach to this and that, trying to not attach to this and that, in the end, it's just an attachment to the non-attachment. If you can dissolve trying to be, it will be beyond solitude and seclusion, beyond peace and quietness already. Solitude is still hidden, trying to be is still hidden. The idea of peace and quietness, having the hidden trying to be in there. If not related to either the not relating itself, it will be beyond peace and quietness, beyond solitudeness, because there is no overlaying of trying to be on top of peace or quietness and stillness. It's not going to be like that. Not about body, mind, or all things automatically. If not related to the non-relating itself at all times, it's done. It will dissolve the trying to be, overlaying body, mind, and all things. It's beyond quietness, beyond peace. Peace has the trying to be that is overlaying, that is still hidden. Solitude as well. It's still the trying to be that is hidden in there. This is invalid. This is no use at all. If not related even to the non-relating itself at all times, it's done. There is no need to search for peace anywhere. It's dissolving the attempt to dwell already. It's not about anything within mindfulness, concentration, meditative power, contemplation, or insight. It's not about anything in anything already. There is purification of the emptiness without traces already. Not relate to the non-relating itself at all times with everything as one with all the living. Everything is not related to the non-relating itself, all the same with everything, with our actions. Therefore, it's all the time like that. This is in the troubling, in the troublemaker of oneself. And no one knows that the trying to be, trying to dwell is itself, trying to be with feelings, emotions, stillness or not, indifferent or not. It is the desire. The attempt to dwell is the samudaya, the cause of the suffering itself. In order to end this, to dissolve this, is from not relate to the non-relating itself, from disengaging itself, from not relate to the non-relating itself, from not grasping for the non-grasping self. This will dissolve being commoners or being noble ones. The noble ones still have the attempt to dwell or trying to be. But the commoners are denser. The run is denser. For the commoners, the attempt to dwell or the trying to be is denser. Trying to be with knowing, seeing, thoughts, recalls, feelings, emotions, with everything. That's why it's called commoners. It's denser. For the noble ones, the attempt to dwell still there, but there is the periodical letting go that is there. And periodical unwinding without grasping for itself is better than the commoners, but still there is the attempt to dwell or trying to be. That which is not related to the non-relating itself, for the relating itself, is beyond unwinding the discard, the unwinding itself already. It will proceed accordingly all by itself. It will be beyond unwinding, discarding the unwinding all by itself. Trying to dwell, attempt to dwell within knowing, seeing, feelings, emotions will be encircling, and it is the samsara within itself. It is the samudaya, the cause of the suffering. It is the desire itself. It is the attribute of the desire, trying to dwell, trying to be, trying to know, trying to see. This is the attribute of the desire. The desire overlaying, looking, seeing, and knowing. It can end by not relate to either relating or not relating. Naturally, it will not be about anything and anything. No identification. This is called the purification of Nibbana, purification of the emptiness without traces already. Stillness or peace is not it. It is hidden. The attempt to dwell is still hidden in there. When you're coming out of peaceful state, what is there? There is the there is. It can be anything. What is there is full of having. It's full of there is. Peace or no peace, neither is it. That which has nothing to do with relating or not relating, it will not be about anything within peace or no peace. This is dissolving the attempt to dwell or trying to be. There is no need to choose anything at all, whether it's peace or not peace, because choosing itself is the troublemaker. Choosing itself is the deceiver, is messing up. Whenever you choose, you're going to be stagnated with your choosing. The choosing is misleading, and it is also the troublemaker in one. Don't be mistaken to choose anything, whether it is samsara or nibbana, peace or no peace, because whenever you choose, it becomes the desire that is stagnant, the delusive attachment that is stagnant. That which has nothing to do with either relating or not relating. There is no choosing whether it is relating or not relating. Whether it is relating or not relating, there is no grasping for it. Whenever you choose to not relate, you still grasp for not relating. It's impossible to choose anything. That which is not samsara is not about having to choose anything. It's beyond choosing or not choosing. It's not conditioned by having to choose or not choosing. Not grasping from the non-grasping itself. Don't do the not grasping for anything, because if not grasping is actually grasping for not grasping.